Okay guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going over variables. So I know what you're thinking. You hear variables and think, oh, so we're gonna learn JavaScript today. Well, no, not yet, but we're extremely close to it. So keep holding on guys, because this video is still useful. So as I said, we're going over variables. So now the next question you're probably thinking is, how does that even make sense? Like, how do you use variables in CSS? Well, okay, so here I have a beautiful website that I made in like 2 minutes, but I want you guys to look closely at the styles.css code here. So what do you guys see? That's right, you guys. One of the properties that is apparent in each selector that we have here is that there are repeating units. And so as you can see here, we have a max width of 30 VW for container red, container blue, and container yellow. And you know, writing the same thing over and over is pretty tiring, and it can become really frustrating, especially when you have code that's like 10,000 lines long instead of this 36 lines of code here. Okay, then that's where we would apply our variables. So how do we actually do that? For this, we want to do something called root. We want to type in : root. And basically what this is what's called a global scope. All HTML elements are going to be able to see this global scope, which basically means that all of these selectors here, so our body, our container red, our container blue, our container yellow, is all going to be able to access this root because it's a global scope. When I'm styling the body or any of these containers, we're editing what's called a local scope, since not all HTML elements are going to see container red or container blue or container yellow. And basically not every single HTML element is going to be styled by this class selector here. So to make a variable, we do double dash, and then we have the name for this variable. Let's call this like default width. And then I would want to write the unit 30 VW. And then I can replace this old 30 VW value with var for variable. And then as you can see here, it puts in default width for us to select. And basically, now we can use default width variable in all of our properties, in all of our max width properties. And basically any property, to be honest, we can reuse this variable as many times as we want to. And another benefit that goes with this is that it puts your code into context. Not everyone will know that 30 VW is going to be the default width. If someone were to look at your code, they wouldn't know that straight off the bat. So having variables here to give context to your code can be really useful, especially when you're not working on it by yourself. And also, if you're like working on a project, then you maybe put it down for like a month or two, then you come back to this project. It also helps give context to your CSS code, and it can make it easier to modify your code later down the road. So that's basically it for today, guys. If you have any questions or you like what you saw, feel free to let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.